Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I just arrived at AWS conference, and this is behind me. You have all these keynotes on this side. They're going to be, I guess, presenting from this area. It's more like building sessions, programming, coding. As for me, I have a badge already. As you can see, the badge is actually student, it says student. As far as I know, each group is sponsored by a specific company. So I think that I am sponsored by GitHub. It's probably GitHub because this is free. So somebody has to sponsor it. So I have been sponsored by GitHub, as far as I know. So just arrived, and just a few of the highlights, and I'm gonna go ahead and check out the conference upstairs and see how things go. As for now, this is pretty much all they have downstairs. Let me show what's going on. So they do have this is like a badge pickup. So if you go that side, you go this way, you can see people over there. That's why they're picking up the badges. And then you have this is like just carried in, like, you know. So it says if you go upstairs, I guess down up there, you go to the keynotes. It's pretty much it. Nothing really fancy going on here. Like I say, this is more, you can see NVIDIA. This is more like keynotes here. It's more like speaker. Last year I was right here. There was a CBP presentation for how the CBP uses Amazon to track migrations and drugs and drug enforcement, stuff like that. Was this area. And then over there they're gonna have like other stuff to do. Very interesting stuff, pretty cool stuff. OpenAI is a sponsor. It's in the booth 112. Then you have Leido on for that company over there. That company over there you see on the screen, it's called Leido. It's a defense company, nice company. So that's pretty much it. I'll be right back in a few minutes. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Oh, sorry.
It matters. If you're spending 70 cents of every IT dollar just keeping the lights on, 70% of enterprise IT budgets trapped in legacy maintenance. Systems outdated before most leaders even took the job. Mainframes processing millions of transactions. Databases holding tens of millions of records. These systems work. They're not broken, but they're brittle. They're expensive, and they almost nothing for what you need to be next. Modernization doesn't have to be a big bang. Value transformation often starts with the boring stuff, the system nobody wants to touch, the database that nobody wants to migrate, the mainframe that runs on institutional knowledge and prayer. You know, back in 1876, half of those exhibits replaced something that already existed. The typewriter didn't create writing, it transformed it. Modernization isn't replacement, it's transformation.
Purpose-built computing for public sector organizations, and that one is at 9 a.m. and 1:51.
Makes the Gartner security and risk seem like nobody was there. And it's hard though. Everybody's coming in so fast. Like you have to fill out 2 questions before you can say anything.
Yeah.
All day I've been trying to get this one and tofu. Yes.
That's chicken?
Yes, it's chicken.
Okay. Are you guys based in DC? Awesome. And are you on the
One, two, three. Kind of be pretty helpful for you.
Whether that's your tagging strategy, or that's how you want to map to your different funding sources across your organization, you need to start documenting your plan now for how you plan to do this attribution. Because once again, it's one of those things that over the long term will pay big dividends. And so my main takeaway for you on See It is that you have to have visibility before you can have conversations about how you optimize.
Kind of go through a little bit of this. I want to hear some input from everyone here. Feel free to share what you're comfortable with. Kind of talking about some of these different pillars. Can someone give me a little bit of examples of who are some of your consumers, internally for some.
These fragmented silos may cause us to challenge to basically really dive into the problem, really try to figure out what was the actual cause, the root analysis of this issue. And this past spring event, we released a subset of features within CloudWatch that basically helped to then do specific actions to resolve these issues. So we're going to go ahead and move over to a demo.
All right, so I have about 10 minutes, actually like 15 minutes to go do this video. So I just finished attending the AWS conference. And right now I'm heading home as for now, and I just want to say that it was a pretty positive experience. I met a lot of folks who are working on federal infrastructure, both in cloud computing as well as the software and managing data security, observing the incidences. So different things, different stuff are happening right now, especially with the federal government. There is a lot of fear of accessing the data while masking things. So it's very interesting to see how the economic side of things is playing out. Financial services, so it was very, very interesting experience to go into. So I'm about to go home right now. I'm pretty exhausted. It's been a long day going from booth to booth, vendor to vendor. I did not attend every single keynote, but I was able to meet different folks. I met some people who were giving me LinkedIn. They said they're going to give me some referrals for a job, but they told me that I need to go back to LinkedIn. Remember I mentioned how my LinkedIn account was deactivated because I didn't want to have effect was not useful, but they told me to go back to LinkedIn, use it again. So I am thinking about going back and trying to use it again. That being said, this is the end of this video. I have a lot of things to share here. I came with my bike and I parked my bike on the street. Pretty safe, pretty good place to be. So it was very interesting to see how the federal government actually is collaborating with AWS and the AWS partners to ensure that they are, streamlining technology, streamlining services. Also, I kind of like my badge. It was pretty cool to look at it because folks, they can tell you're a student and they're able to give up some insights like, are you looking for a job, are you looking for opportunity? So it was very positive, very, very positive. I took a couple emails, took a couple information, they took a bunch of gifts. And I'm trying to feel like I need to shift more towards technology because I like this stuff. I like these things. I feel more connected with these folks than people in finance or people in public policy. I just like the innovations and they speak and can ask questions about these guys. And what I found to be very interesting though from today's session was that these folks, they don't know how the economic side plays into the technology. And I think this is where I come in. I kind of observe the cost, the benefits of implementing this technology, and I think that was more missing of it. How do you ensure that you are eliminating the waste or you are eliminating the waste, but you are not kicking out useful information is so pretty interesting. I saw some couple similar folks that I knew before, I met before, some very familiar people. So AWS is becoming more like an identity at this time, becoming more like a friendly. I know that guy. I should check on him. I know that guy over there. He's a presenter. Damn, he's a speaker. You see in the camera, he's a speaker for AWS. He's a very, very popular guy, and it's fascinating. You see that these guys are very, very familiar folks. But last year, I'm on my bike. Last year when I was at AWS, I was interning at the ECD, and that's where I decided to go to graduate school, because I was thinking about like I'm going to graduate school and then see how this AI plays out in the in the real world. How can they be useful? Hello, hi. Yeah, no, right? This kid is on a bike. Anyways, just little kid is passing by. So the purpose of going to school was to basically see how can my econ background play a key role in tech sector, tech world. And now that after 1 year, when I was here last year, I was kind of confused. I didn't know, like I knew technology, but I didn't know how that works. But now I have an idea of behind the scenes. For example, I was in a keynote where the speaker touched on the querying the data using things like SQL. But how do you query the data from, let's say, financial institutions to use it for, let's say, think tank or research? And then that involves security, involves auditing, right? And when the job is asking for, many companies are struggling right now to have this data, right? Before it used to be a smaller data, now there's like huge amount of data that you have to deal with. Talk about like millions of data, right? And they are trying to build this model to ensure that these models can compress and make it simple and more easier to get job done. But the issues becomes obviously the trust, right, the accessibility, right, of this data. So these companies, they build wonderful tools, beautiful tools, but then these tools are not understandable. They are not taught to federal workers. They are not taught to the county executives, lawyers, attorneys, economists, researchers, academia people, right? And so all these very complex things becomes much harder for most folks out there that needs to handle this stuff. So that was pretty much the highlight of today, and I'm gonna make another video, very, very comprehensive video, sort of like showcasing how these tools can be useful. And I'm thinking about maybe like going deeper into like describing each and every single tool that Amazon has, describe each and every single partner and how they can be helpful in terms of economics of things. So very fascinating stuff, extremely fascinating stuff. And once again, this is like an hour and 8 minutes speaking, and I'm very tired right now, very exhausted, so I don't have much to share. But as far as I know, I'm gonna go home and try to reflect on it, trying to see. And unfortunately, we do not have folks who are blending two things at the same time. Like we have folks who are engineers, folks who are sales, folks who are government, and the folks who are, economics, observing, and advising. I'm part of the advising team, and I think we need to have, as we make things much more easier and much more, controllable, we might be able to have a lot of, might be able to have an easy way of having one person handling multiple things at the same time, especially with AI. So that's all for today, and like always, thanks for watching, and I'll be right back in a few minutes. Hopefully I have enough time to finish this video and call it off and call it a day. It's very chaotic in here, very, very chaotic. There's a lot of traffic. I don't see my background here. Lots of traffic. I want to talk about that guy over there. I don't know if he remembers me. It's been a while. I think I need to talk to him right now. I need to see what he has to say.